Yesterday I gave two short presentations on PQC, that's post-quantum cryptography, and next week I'm in London to give a more focused talk on the subject. And so it's great to see that Samsung is driving forward the adoption of PQC methods in the new S25 smartphone. There are two companies that have a core focus on creating trusted hardware for consumers. That's Apple and Samsung. Apple has always had a core focus on making sure that they use the best cryptography to not only secure their devices, but also to make them privacy aware. Samsung too has strived for improved security, but at times has had a few slip-ups along the way, but has always patched their systems. Now, Samsung Electronics has integrated PQC into their Galaxy S25 series of devices. The need for this is that NIST will deprecate all their existing public key encryption and signature methods in 2030, including RSA for public key encryption, RSA, ECDSA, and EdDSA for signatures, and ECDH. ECDH is elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. NIST will then remove them by 2035 from the NIST FIPS 140 standard. Given that a smartphone will have a life of at least 5 years, hopefully, it makes sense to build the hardware now to support the migration. Along with this, we see the rise of the harvest now, decrypt later threats, where network traffic could be captured now and then decrypted at some time in the future when quantum computers can be built at scale. The main integration at the current time involves MLKEM, also known as FIPS 203, and from its original name of Kyber, and MLDSA, or FIPS 204, otherwise known as dilithium. With MLKEM, we replace key exchange, such as with elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, and public key encryption methods, such as with RSA, while MLDSA provides us with digital signing. If you're interested, the main migrations include from MD5 and SHA-1 with hashing towards SHA-256 and SHA-512. Our 128-bit AES symmetric key encryption needs to be upgraded to 256-bit AES. When it comes to key exchange, the three main methods we use just now are ECDH, elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, X25519, which is also known as EdDSA, and RSA key exchange. These will be moving over possibly to MLKEM, otherwise known as Kyber, but we can also have a hybrid method, typically X25519 mixed with MLKEM. But also under consideration by NIST is BIKE, HQC, and McAleese. These methods do not use the lattice methods that MLKEM use, so just in case lattice methods get cracked, then at least we'll have a fallback with these other key exchange and encryption methods. It's mainly for key exchange. For public key encryption, we have RSA, OAEP, is used to encrypt. So with that, we encrypt with Alice's public key and she decrypts with her private key. That will be moving over also to MLKEM or Kyber. Okay, so both the key exchange and the public key methods, encryption methods will be moving over to Kyber or MLKEM. When it comes to signatures, we've got a few methods we can choose from. Typical methods ECDSA, as used in Bitcoin, and also Ethereum, and for most of our TLS connections. We can have ED25519, and that's a method that uses curve 25519 as its base method. And we have two RSA methods, RSA PSS or RSA PKCS1 version 1.5. Okay, so there are four main methods there. Elliptic curves are quite lightweight in their operation, especially for key generation. RSA is still the most popular method that's used for digital signatures on the internet, typically for web connections. So all those 4 methods will be replaced by MLDSA or dilithium. There is another method called SLH-DSS, otherwise known as Sphinx Plus. I should say that MLDSA is also known as dilithium. Another method, Falcon, has been agreed. It's also a lattice method along with the dilithium method, but it hasn't been standardized yet. The MLDSA is also known as FIPS 204, and SLH-DSS is known as FIPS 205. But NIST want to have an alternative, especially to these lattice methods, just in case they get cracked. So they have an additional round at the current time, including methods such as cross, SQI, sign, hawk, perk, and mail. So overall, these methods will be used with Samsung Knox Matrix for enhanced data protection. This includes end-to-end encryption for backups and the recovery of data from the Samsung cloud. Overall, Samsung devices, like Apple hardware, have a secure enclave to store private and secret keys, and where not even Samsung can get access to them. The usage of PQC will mean that Samsung devices will be able to communicate with other devices in the future and which are using PQC methods. This ensures not only current compatibility but also future compatibility. An important advancement of the industry is that Samsung will support PQC methods for their backup system to their cloud. Conclusions. Of course, the integration will not force applications or services to use PQC, and in most cases, we will still use our traditional methods as devices that it will connect to must support PQC. Thus, we will see a migration towards PQC rather than a hard switch over. In cryptography, this is often done as we can typically require negotiation of the cryptographic methods that are used in our secure transmission or storage of data. Once all the required services and applications support PQC, our existing public key methods will likely be switched off. Thank you.